An inside job? How dare you?
If you know that there's treason going on, you can be held accountable for treason yourself.
All hell is breaking loose on 6th Avenue.
And if the government has not told the truth, in 5 years we will be here on the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
Truth Rising. Download the film at prisonplanet.tv right now or get the DVD at Infowars.com. It's now time to take the revolution to the next level.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We have the man who traveled the world and narrated and presented the incredible film, The Money Masters, Bill Still, and we have the man who produced and directed it, Pat Carmack, on the line. Pat recognized one of the leading experts on the private run-for-profit Federal Reserve. I already knew he was one of the top experts out there, but I just love and feel like I know Bill Still, and it was the first time we personally talked because of seeing his film, 5 or 6 times when locals here aired it on TV over and over again. Back in the late 1990s. And I already knew a lot about the Federal Reserve, but they laid it out so well. I mean, I loved Gilbert Griffin's film, Creature from Jekyll Island, but that's more one-dimensional. This is three-dimensional and so important. Okay, we've gotten up to Andrew Jackson. I mean, Americans don't know the struggles we've had, and we had 10, 11, 12% growth rates previously, zero inflation until the bankers take over in 1913. But going back to the 1830s and Andrew Jackson.
Well, with the if you step back to Hamilton and Washington, Washington was not a financial expert. Obviously, he was a terrific first president, founder, but Hamilton pushed the idea of the private banks. He was connected to European financial powers. And you had opposed to him Jefferson, Monroe, Adams, almost everybody. But because of the needs of the government in Washington, he didn't side with Jefferson. He sided with Hamilton because he just didn't understand it. And there was a lot of ignorance about it at that time.
There were internal struggles within the government.
That's right. And Hamilton's view prevailed briefly with the First Bank of the United States. It had a 20-year charter. When it expired in 1811, there was an attempt to restore the charter, and that was defeated. Again, in 1816, the Second Bank of the United States, which is very similar to the Fed, and again, it gives this private money creation power out of the government into private hands because these banks were owned by private stockholders.
That'd be like if I called my business federal government bookstore and just claimed I was the federal government selling books. I mean, it's the same thing.
Right. And so the Second Bank of the United States, chartered in 1816, was the one Andrew Jackson fought against. He fought to have the charter defeated and not renewed. He was ultimately successful. In the whole process, there was an assassination attempt against him. Both guns misfired, so he was spared. And the United
That's amazing.
States,
I mean, is that not Providence?
Well, it is, of course. And the United States was spared falling under the control of bankers at that time. So we had kind of a free, laissez-faire banking situation until the Civil War, and there was tremendous prosperity and growth in the country. And that was, with very few exceptions in that period, that was basically the situation until the middle of the Civil War, when Lincoln needed money to finance the war effort. He got Congress to provide it initially by simply issuing money called greenbacks, because the back of them was printed with green ink, but it was just U.S. notes. So they were government notes. They were used to pay bills, to pay soldiers, to pay for ammunition, and so forth.
That's right. The European bankers had sidled up to him and tried to get him into debt, and he said no, and they just pulled their hair out with rage. Meanwhile, they were funding the South, trying to break the country up.
That's right. It's not uncommon for major bankers to fund both sides in a war because they're after primarily profits, unfortunately. So Congress eventually was initially supported Lincoln and these U.S. notes, which he had about $400 million billion issued at that time, which is a colossal amount of money to finance the war. But then Congress turned against him as the bankers financed politicians who were not in favor of these U.S. notes. So Lincoln had to compromise. I think it was in 1863, and in order to get more of these U.S. notes, he had to reestablish the central banking system through the National Banking Act.
We'll take it from there when we get back. Long segment coming up with both of our amazing guests. PrisonPlanet.com. It's been newly designed. Check it out. Our beloved republic is on her knees. The forces of globalism are destroying national sovereignty worldwide. But in liberty's darkest hour, there is hope. For the first time in modern history, the people are beginning to wake up. It is essential that patriots worldwide accelerate their fellow man's understanding of the New World Order master plan. We have a short time frame to fully awaken and energize the people to meet this threat. In the info war, PrisonPlanet.tv is a powerful weapon in the battle to regain our freedom. PrisonPlanet.tv is a vault of forbidden information. All 18 of my documentary films can be downloaded or streamed in super high quality directly to your computer or iPhone and shared with others. Thousands of special video reports, from tainted vaccines to martial law, can be found in this online video library. My weekly news television broadcast, thousands of exclusive audio interviews, and so much more. The InfoWar is waiting for you to set it free. Join PrisonPlanet.tv. Burn the info bombs to disk. Put them on the file-sharing networks. Bring down the New World Order. PrisonPlanet.tv. Have you ever thought about what's in your shampoo, soap, or detergent? How about chlorides, dyes, ethanol, sulfates, sodium, formaldehydes, and more? Even fragrance can indicate the presence of some 4,000 separate ingredients, most of which are synthetic. Hi, this is Alex Jones. I was shocked when I discovered I could be inhaling these additives that can lead to coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath, headaches, nausea, irritation of the skin, and mucous membranes. Now compare Cal-Ben Pure Soap, all natural, earth-friendly, no harsh chemicals, no animal testing. They're safe, and you save 85% of the money you're spending on cleaning products now. Start saving over $1,000 a year for your family of 4. Keep it natural. Call Cal-Ben Pure Soap for a free catalog at 1-800-340-7091 or log on to 5starsoap.com. Try Cal-Ben Pure Soaps, and I'll bet you'll never use any other cleaning products again. Call 1-800-340-7091 for all your cleaning needs.
Here I am at a gathering of friends, minding my own business, when one of our buddies, Bob, walks up to me, very concerned. He says, "Wow, have you seen the gasoline prices lately?" And I said, "Oh, of course. Woo, they're high." He says, "Yeah." He says, "What am I going to do? I've got a truck. There's no way anybody's going to buy my truck in this market. I really need the truck for my job. It uses more gas than I can afford. I've got to find a way to come up with some extra money. I got a wife with 4 kids at home. I don't know what to do." I said, "Bob, relax. I know what to do. Call eFoodsDirect.com or go up on the web at eFoodsDirect.com. They will deliver food, really good, high-quality, nutritional, delicious food to your door now, right there in front of your house, for about half the price that you were paying for groceries last year. You can take the savings from that, offset the cost of your fuel, and use it to buy more inexpensive food to hedge against tomorrow's increasing food prices. Why don't you do that, Bob?" He said, eFoodsDirect.com. I said, "Yep, call them at 1-800-409-5633. That's 800-409-5633. Do it now.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Bob Carmack, the maker of an amazing film, The Money Masters. I can think of no film overall that is more central to our entire world. They are the great architects. They took control of the world through fraud. They have steered our societal development for 100 years at least in the Western world. They had almost complete domination in England 200 years ago. And, of course, we skipped over how they ran the scam with Napoleon saying he'd won to make them run on the banks and then buy it all up. I mean, there's so much to talk about, and I want to spend some time on monetary reform. The problem is when you've got a general public that really thinks there's no oil because of peak oil, the media tells them there's no more oil, that's why they're paying more, not that the dollar's been devalued. When you've got a public that doesn't even know what dollar devaluation means, what currency inflation means, what hyperinflation means, and I'm not being sardonic, I'm not even that smart. I mean, I want to make that clear. It's so obvious. Our whole history is struggling against these people. And you brought us up to the Civil War. Please continue, Pat and Bill.
Well, if I could just insert a quote by